All right, welcome back to Walker Vibes. I am your host, Orlando.
And this is Samantha.
And we're super excited to be back. I feel like it's been so long since our last recording. But Fear the Walking Dead is here, and
Woo!
We're ready to bring you guys some pretty cool content.
Yeah.
So this past weekend, we just got back from Walker Stalker Con Boston. And we won't really be talking too much about that today, but we were super excited and super grateful that we were able to do a little bit more there, volunteering. And I actually got to sit at a panel thanks to Dave Solo from Walker Nation. If you haven't checked them out, walkernation.net. They're awesome. He's a great guy. He's got a great group, and they're cool peeps. So we had a good time, but today we're here to talk about Fear the Walking Dead. Not too many people were excited about it. Sam wasn't too excited about it.
No, not really. But after watching the episode, it's definitely more interesting than I thought it would be.
Absolutely. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
it
was.
I thought it was awesome. Like, it had really good information in the beginning, and I felt, the huge dramatic feel that, that was there. So.
Yeah.
So this first episode, we saw, obviously, new actors, new characters, a few different, personalities and different types of characters. What are your thoughts on Madison?
I can definitely tell that she wears the pants in the relationship, and yeah. But Travis doesn't seem to have a problem with it.
I just feel like because he's the stepdad and he's like new to all this, like, in my opinion, like, if I just got married to someone who had kids, I'd be like, yeah, honey, okay, sure, all right. I'd always say yes to whatever they want to do. I want to seem like the cool guy, like the cool dad, and it's tough. Like, you can see he had like a hard time trying to relate to the kids.
That's true.
And Madison was probably a single mother at one point, so she was able to build up like that whole, I'm in charge sort of personality and everything.
Playing both roles.
Yeah, of course. So she's definitely a doer.
Yeah.
As I see on my notes, she really goes balls to the wall. So, which is cool. I could see her being like the female version of Rick.
Yeah.
I could also see her being Lori in this show. I don't know, the family themselves, like the whole family themselves, they remind me a lot of just just The Walking Dead. Like, they remind me,
the Grimes family.
Yeah, or not even that, like just the group,
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of quarrel right in the beginning, and you see that, as a family that's not even in the apocalypse yet. They're just a regular family. And then, like, Nick, he reminds me of Carl, because that's someone you have to keep an eye on. You're probably gonna have to tell him to stay in the house 10,000 times, and he's never home. They're looking for him. They said he doesn't want to sleep in his own bed because he's out on the streets. Carl probably wasn't doing drugs at his age, but he's not home. But the group is a lot like, the family's a lot like the group from our show, and I think the dramatic feel is there, and we're gonna see a lot of drama. And I don't know, like, the first couple seasons in The Walking Dead were slow, and a lot of people didn't like it because of it. But I see it as, these shows need that dramatic feel.
Yeah. Well, that too. I mean, anyone who is caught up on the Walking Dead comics, we sort of had a feel for what the TV show was going to be about. Like, it wasn't just this whole new idea that people just had nothing to fall back on. Like, they had no idea what was going on, which was my hesitation watching the previews. It was just really weird not seeing the group that we've, like, come to know and love. It was just completely new people, and it was just really hard to figure out where it was all going.
Yeah, I mean, everything for the most part is new. Like, this really threw me off. So in the beginning, when Nick actually saw, like, Gloria eating that guy's face, like, I don't know if they were together for a long time, if they were in love, or it was just like a one-time
He called her a friend.
Called her a friend, true.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if I saw you eating someone's face, I would, like, grab you and say, "Are you okay? Like, what's wrong?" And if you started snapping at me, I'd still try to help you. I wouldn't just run away.
Well,
but then again, if you were a one-night stand, like, you're on your own. If you're eating someone's face, like, I'm bouncing. Peace.
I mean, but seriously, if you saw me bending down, like, eating someone's face and it was half gone.
I don't know. I've been with you for a while. I'd probably, like, try to figure out what's going on. You took a bad batch of something. But, like, what would you think? So, it's me. I'm leaning over someone's face, just going to town. I'm at Cracker Barrel, just... Well, like, what do you think?
Well, we have a background about a zombie. Like in real life, we have the movies, we have the TV shows, we know what we would do. We have our hypothetical planning already. We have our hypothetical.
So you would just be like, "Damn, that's a waste," and you shoot me right in the face.
Exactly, pretty much.
Wow, I wouldn't shoot you in the face.
I would give you permission to.
I feel like I'd just cut your head off.
What?
I'd pull a governor and just cut your head off and throw you in a box.
Great, that's awesome.
Yeah, just look at you every once in a while and just be like,
keep me in a fish tank.
yeah, exactly. I'd be like, this could be us, but you're biting, and then close the box.
Oh God.
So yeah, I don't know. Also, like when he was running out of the church, he saw that guy who got bit in the throat. Like right before he saw Gloria, like his throat was bitten out. I'm surprised he didn't go back to check on him.
I mean, you also have to understand he was under the influence. He was already losing his mind as it is, and to see that and experience that, I don't think that was the first thing on his mind.
He just wanted to get out of there and be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although that didn't work because he got hit by a car, so.
Yeah, that kind of sucked. Who do you think is so out of the family that we see? This is kind of like a random question. Out of the family that we see in Fear the Walking Dead, who do you think will turn first, and why?
Oh, wow, that's a really good question. I have a good feeling about Alicia and Nick, though. I don't think they're definitely out of the equation. I feel like they're gonna go a lot longer than the parents. I have a feeling it's the mom or the dad, but I'm having a hard time pinpointing which one and why.
This would be tough. Like if Madison got bit, and then she came out of the equation. You know, they probably wouldn't kill her right then and there because they don't know that she'll turn into something. But if she got bit, and then Travis would have to take care of the kids, like that would just throw a complete wrench in the mix. Like,
True.
those aren't his kids, and he's gonna have to like learn to relate to them, and then have to go through an apocalypse. Like that would be nuts. Like I could definitely see the show being a lot more dramatic and a lot more drama filled than than The Walking Dead.
Hey, now that I think about it, I mean, my theory right now isn't that deep, but if I had to give an answer now, it probably would be that Maddie would turn first, just because Travis still has Liza and Christopher to worry about.
True.
So I feel like if he died off, then that would kind of be the end to their story, and I highly doubt that's just the end of their story.
What do you think is gonna happen? Like, do you think he's gonna try to go save them?
I mean, Maddie already knows about them. It's not like they're not in contact, and they don't have some sort of relationship, even though it's a bad one. I don't see why not. I mean, it's still his son.
I could see all of them being together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe making their own. I mean, that's ways from now, because this is just starting.
Oh yeah, this first.
No one's
episode.
gonna have like 2 days in like their own building with like sniper perches and like
true.
Stockpiling food. So what I think, like, what do you think is gonna happen with the government and the military? Like, what do you think the reaction's gonna be? Like instantly, like.
I mean, just the same as we would see. They would gather up and try to, take care of the issue, but especially where they are in Los Angeles, it being one of the most crowded places, from personal experience, it is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think their efforts would go that far.
There has to be a turning point. Like in The Walking Dead, we see that there really isn't much military or any for that matter, but there has to be a turning point where I think they're all in hiding. I think the government's in hiding and the military's in hiding. Like, I know a lot of folks, obviously they think they're all dead and everything's just a complete shitstorm, but I think we'll see in Fear the Walking Dead what's going to happen. The president, like, who's the president right now? Just the government overall, and the military is just going to say, screw this, we can't contain this, and just go somewhere. Who knows where that place is, but it's going to go somewhere. That's very interesting. I'm very interested to find out what happens there.
So in relation to what you're saying, something really stood out at me when Maddie stopped Tobias about bringing the knife to school. And
that was the student, right?
Yeah. And they were in the office, and one thing stood out. She was saying how, for him not to worry, and if something was really bad happening, that, we would rely on our government and they would tell us. And now that I really think about it, like, I don't really know if they would. I kind of agree with what you're saying. Like, I feel like they would go out in hiding, realizing how big of a situation it would be.
Let me stop you there real fast. He brought a kitchen knife.
I know.
Like, he couldn't find, like a switchblade or anything.
Well, I
Like,
know,
come on,
yeah.
like-
I mean, that was a bad choice.
That was, like, the worst knife. The handle's gonna snap off. Probably end up cutting yourself.
This is true, yeah.
But that's a good point. I mean, like, she realized, not even about relying heavily. It's about what you would assume would happen. Your government and your military would take over if, something super extreme happened. But see, but they don't know. Everything is so new. They don't know what's going to happen. They don't know that 3 years from now, 4 years from now, they won't have a place to live.
Yeah.
They're going to be out on the road, which is crazy.
But if you really think about it in real life circumstances, we really don't discover anything or hear anything on the news until it gets too bad.
Yeah.
So that same situation where it's probably going to be too bad for them to do anything, and that's when they'll retreat and say, we can't do anything to help you, you're on your own, we'll let this thing die out. So
let's talk about the name of the show, Fear the Walking Dead. So in The Walking Dead, we know that it's referring to the people that are trying to survive. They're already dead. They lost most of their family. Now they're just trying to survive just for the sake of surviving.
yeah.
So now, do you think Fear the Walking Dead is talking about the literal zombies? Like, fear them. Like, this is new. This is scary. This is gonna happen. Or are we gonna see a group of survivors that are a lot more, gruesome and are a lot more to the point? Like, what do you think?
I mean, in a literal sense, now that, we heard Rick literally say, we are the Walking Dead. Most epic scene ever. I mean, if we're talking about how he said it, we are the Walking Dead. Like, I feel like, I guess it would be more...
Towards the survivors?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I don't know. I want to see the reactions. Like, I mean, every first reaction is, like, the craziest one. It's like, oh my God, what's going on? Mm-hmm. Like, this is crazy.
I feel like we're going to be really frustrated, though. Like, we know what we would do in that situation, but to them, like, the zombie apocalypse isn't even something that they hypothetically, like, talk about. Like, they're going to be making these stupidest decisions, and we're just going to get so frustrated because it's like, why would you walk in there?
Yeah.
Why would you...
Do you think they're going to stay in the city?
I wouldn't. I
wouldn't
mean,
stay in LA.
Actually, they'd probably get stuck in there now that I think about it because everyone would be trying to leave. So they probably would have no choice, but that would really suck.
I mean, I would try to leave.
Well, yeah, anyone, that's what I'm saying.
But it's going to be
Everyone
a
would.
while. I think it's going to be a while before we see them try to leave. I feel like the first season is going to be super slow because, again, this is all new. And their first reaction isn't, let's leave, let's leave the city.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to take a little bit. It's going to take for hospitals to be overwhelmed, for them to realize, like, this is a lot worse than we thought.
So you think the growth of it all is going to be really slow?
I think so.
But then
Like, why wouldn't it be?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if it is the zombie apocalypse and how we see it conveyed in every other show and movie, it's something that's fast. Once you get bit, you turn, then you bite someone else, and you turn, and then.
But we know this to be more of like a dramatic feel. Like, it's going to be based off their initial reactions.
True.
And I mean, I don't know. You could be right. They could, 2 weeks from now, they're like, shit, we got to get out. But I think it's going to be a lot slower. I hope it's a lot slower.
Well, yeah, for all intensive purposes, just for it to
I
be more
think I would
dramatic.
enjoy a little bit more, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't stay in LA. I'd bounce.
Oh gosh, I just feel really bad for them that they are in LA. That's just one of the worst places to be in that situation.
Let's talk about something else real fast. And I brought this up
Yeah.
earlier. I know you guys kind of like laughed at.
Very excited. No, you were very
like
excited.
laughed at me about it, but I saw it this. So it's 2015, all right? And they're in LA. They have the latest and greatest. Everyone's got like the best phone and everything,
Yeah.
the best outfits, and like they all had iPhone 4s. So I don't know why that really stood out to me, just because I'm like a huge nerd.
Yeah.
But they all had iPhone 4s, and I'm thinking like, wait a second, like that phone's like 5 years old.
Yeah.
So then I remembered. Okay, The Walking Dead came out. Bear with me here. The Walking Dead came out in 2010.
Yeah.
The iPhone 4 came out when?
2010.
2010, right? They wanted to bring everything back to the very beginning. Okay. How I think they did this on purpose.
Well, of course.
It's giving it the 2010 feel. Okay. iPhone 4, everything is starting. Like, how crazy is that? You know?
You were so excited.
I want to talk to someone who made that decision. I want to see if that's what their thought process was. Because if that was the case, then kudos.
Kudos to you
Kudos.
for using the iPhone 4.
Like, I thought that was really cool. I don't know. I could be stretching it.
No, that's a very good observation. See, this is why we watch this together. There's just some things that I don't pick up on that you do, and you don't pick up on that I do. It just works.
I pick up on a lot of the Clueless stuff, and I just talk about it for hours.
But
no one ever listens to me.
It makes perfect sense.
If anyone is even out there, if anyone is even listening to this.
I want to kind of jump in a random direction, but we were talking about the name Fear the Walking Dead, and I just need to point out how badass the intro was.
Yeah, that was pretty dope.
I love it.
That was pretty dope.
I wrote down that it was like edgy, dysfunctional, and different, and now that I think about it, looking back at it, that's sort of...
Those are big words.
It is, I know. That's everything that Fear the Walking Dead is representing.
Yeah.
And I think it was a great idea. I love it. It's different.
It's going to be a really good show.
It is.
I'm super excited for it. And I want to see how the first season's going to play out. Definitely. So we're excited for it. For Fear the Walking Dead, it's going to be Sam and I and our buddy David is going to be doing these reviews. Again, check out our website, walkervibes.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. And, check out for all the latest episodes. We're going to be doing a lot more often. So, again, like I said, we had, an amazing time at Walker Stalker Con Boston. And we hope to attend more Walker Stalker Cons. But stay tuned for our next episode. It's going to be about our con experience. We got to do some really cool things, and I think there's going to be a lot more ahead. So... This is Orlando.
And this is Samantha.
And keep it vibing.
Keep it vibing.